Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In recent times, there's been a realization that the Islamic finance industry has been distracted from its original target, focusing primarily on increasing its market share over its conventional counterpart. To rectify matters, thought leaders of the Islamic finance industry have recentered the discussion within their conferences and seminars around establishing the foundational principles intended to fulfill the core objectives of Islamic finance, as opposed to the means intended to produce so-called innovative instruments and products with help from the latest technological tools of AI, machine learning, and so on and so forth. By virtue of this, Maqasid al-Shariah, or the objectives of the Sharia, was pushed back into the spotlight. The scope of discussion has progressed beyond the Kulliyat al-Khams, or the five necessities enunciated by classical scholars like Abu Ishaq al-Shatibi and Abu Hamid al-Ghazali. The new wave of discussion was led by the contemporary al-Zaytun University educated scholar Imam Muhammad al-Tahir ibn Ashur, who brilliantly noted that there should be a dedicated set of maqasid for each chapter of fiqh or Islamic jurisprudence. In other words, there would be a set of maqasid specifically for marriage and another specifically for financial transactions and so on and so forth. Based on this approach, Imam Ibn Ashur developed the five maqasid of financial transaction, known as maqasid al-mu'amalat al-maliyah. Firstly, al-rawaj, meaning growth so as to avoid decay, and circulation or tadawul so as to avoid hoarding and monopoly. Secondly, wuduh, meaning clarity and transparency through witness attestation, documentation, collateralization, and minimization of gharar or uncertainty. Thirdly, hifz, which is to protect and safeguard public and private wealth through managing and growing it, as well as preventing attacks on it. Fourthly, al-thabat, which is to ensure wealth is accorded to its rightful owners through lawful acquisition of ownership and validation of contracts. And lastly, adala, meaning justice, which is upheld by preventing all forms of injustice or dhulm in gaining, dealing, and spending wealth. Now, Ibn Ashur's sharp observations have served as the basis upon which scholars succeeding him have contributed to the discussion of maqasid in the Islamic finance industry. Now, of such notable scholars is Sheikh Abdullah ibn Bay'a, chairman of the UAE Council of Fatwa, who established that earning income and searching for wealth, the maqsad of rawaj, and protecting wealth, maqsad of hifz, are the highest maqasid in financial dealings in terms of priority and necessity. Sheikh Dr. Qutb Mustafa, Secretary General of the OIC International Islamic Fiqh Academy, incorporated the sustainability paradigm or sidama under the maqsad of al-thabat. Now, other contributors include Tansri Azman Haji Mukhtar, chairman of INSEF University and MIFC Leadership Council, who advocated for the development of a maqasid-based sustainable economy through, among other things, a transitive move away from the shareholder economy towards the stakeholder economy, from being purely profit-driven to being purpose or impact-driven. He and his team have called upon the industry's leaders to raise the Sharia compliance standard from halal to tayyib. What's the difference, you ask? Well, Sheikh Dr. Muhammad Qirat described tayyib as a wasf, or a descriptive feature of halal. In other words, a halal that is tayyib sits a level above a halal that is not tayyib in terms of Sharia endorsement or certification. This would simply mean that not all halals are tayyib, but all tayyibs are halal. Now, another contributor to the discussion on maqasid is Malaysia's Securities Commission, or SC. Now, with help from various local and international bodies, Malaysia's SC developed what you call the Maqasid al-Sharia guidance for its Islamic Capital Market. Now, as the title suggests, this document or guidance was intended to serve as a maqasid-based framework guiding the activities within Malaysia's Islamic capital market. Now, drawing inspiration from Ibn Ashur's segmentation of maqasid into chapters of jurisprudence, the Deputy Director of Malaysia's Islamic Capital Market, Dr. Azrul Azlan Iskandar, stated that it serves as a bridge to attain it and give more clarity towards it. Now, the guidance is structured in a manner that sees the attainment of human welfare through serving benefits and preventing harm, jalb al-masalih wa dar' al-mafasid, as the ultimate objective of the Sharia and the roof of the house. Next, it places the five necessities of maqasid al-Sharia relating to the protection of religion, of life, of lineage, of intellect, of wealth, a level right beneath the roof. And right after that, we find the SC's maqasid al-Sharia relating to financial transactions, namely humanity, justice and benevolence, clarity and transparency, flexibility and innovation, fiduciary and accountability, and lastly, accessibility and inclusivity. Now, the guidance does not stop there. It goes on to impressively list a total of 15 principles under these 6 maqasid of financial transactions, and it refers to them as the objectives of ICM. Now, all these different layers have the adherence to the requirements of Sharia as the base or the foundation upon which this house of maqasid is built upon. Quite impressive, it seems. But it's imperative that we take a deeper dive into the SC's maqasid guidance to uncover how meaningful it really is, if at all. Upon critiquing it, we'll explore if there's any room for reconstruction or realignment. All that and more we'll discuss in the second part of this video, inshallah. Until then, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.